Gregor, you've named the squad for this Sunday's match with Ireland in the Guinness Six Nations. A number of changes you've made for this encounter. We'll look at the forwards first. WP comes back into the mix. A very experienced player. What will he bring to the front row?
Well, his experience is the number one thing. He's the oldest player in our squad, but he's in great physical shape. His power and his speed are at the same levels as they were 10 years ago. But it's good for him to get that opportunity to start. And Xander's obviously started a lot of games for us in the last couple of years. He misses out this week because of suspension. And to have VP there, we know we're going to have someone that can scrum really well. It puts his body on the line for the team.
And Jamie Ritchie also comes back into the mix after an injury, a younger player who's cementing him now in that back row position. You must be delighted to welcome a player of Jamie's calibre back into the team.
Yeah, Jimmy's been a real consistent player for us over the last couple of seasons. He's vice captain, so he's grown as a leader of the team and a leadership group, and he was ready to go a couple of weeks ago for the France game, but like a number of players, they've had to wait 2 more weeks for this fixture.
Let's look at the consistency then, because there's an element of this in the squad selection, Gregor. You've gone with Scott and Johnny again in the second row, I think for the 7th consecutive time in a Scotland jersey. You must be delighted to be able to choose 2 people like that on a consistent basis. You must be very impressed with what they're bringing to the squad.
Yeah, well, delighted in what they're bringing, but also delighted that they've been available for selection, which isn't always the case. Players do pick up injuries, and especially in the forward pack. So international rugby is about building cohesion and growing as a team through 2 or 3 campaigns in a year. It's different at club level where you play every week and you're looking to bring people through and give them that taste of what you want to do as a team. International level, especially with Six Nations, you're playing some of the top teams in the world. So if players are in form and they're available, then they're likely to get that second opportunity. And for Johnny and Scott, they played together at Glasgow. They're building a really strong relationship now on attack and defence. They share the line at calling duties. One is in attack with Scott, and Johnny calls the defensive setups. And they work well off each other. But we know that's a position where we do have strength and depth, and they have to play well to retain their places.
Sticking with consistency then, Chris Harris remains in the centre role that he's done so during this Six Nations, and you've brought in Sam Johnson this time. You've had a number of different players in that role complementing Chris. So just talk to us why Sam gets the nod this weekend.
Well, Sam is back playing. He's played I think 3 games now over the last 3 or 4 weeks, so that is something he wasn't able to do in December and January. Sam had played a lot of rugby for us at 12 prior to this season, so it's great to see him back in full fitness. We know his attacking edge that he can bring to the team, but also his defensive work. James Lang, I thought, played well against Wales. He was part of a lot of our positive play, worked really hard, but we feel that this is the right game to bring Sam back into the squad.
Let's look at the opposition now, Gregor. You know, the game against Italy they had in round 3 of the Six Nations, they really seemed to find a bit of tempo and a bit of physicality that maybe been lacking. But what do you make of Ireland this weekend, and what they bring to this game? Well,
I think they played really well. I don't think they've been lacking anything in their opening games. To go almost 60 minutes with a man down against Wales and lead for a lot of that game and get right up to the Wales 22 or just outside the Wales 22 at the end of the game and have an opportunity to potentially win the game shows their character, their fitness and their quality. And their performance against France could easily have led to a win as well, and France are the form team in the world right now. So Ireland could be coming to BT Murrayfield in the back of 3 wins. They're coming in the back of 3 good performances, and the last one being a very good victory. So they'll be confident, they'll feel they're going in the right direction, and I'm sure they'll be confident given that they've beaten us a few times over the last few years. We know they're a very physical side, really good set piece, experience throughout their team, and some quality players.